And the 12 gates were 12 pearls. Every several gate was one of pearl. And the street of the city was pure gold, as it were transparent glass. Revelations 21:21, King James Version. So they're talking about the city, the new city of heaven, comparing it to a bride. So there's always this combination between, like, there was Jerusalem as a woman, but also a city. I've said many times, I think that comes back to Newt because the hieroglyph is city, sort of with a phonetic, playful association. The city was laid out like a square. And I wonder if this is like, I'm currently reading Jung's book about psychology and alchemy, and he talks about this idea of the Trinity being a masculine number and that even numbers being inherently female. And I've said for years that we've got Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit has to be female because otherwise you don't have the Son. For balance, then you must have a daughter. I think that relates to alchemy, psychology. I think in the original mythology they were twins. Osiris, Isis, wasn't it? I think it's interesting that the Egyptians were concerned with balance. Anyway, I've only sort of read the first 50 pages, so we have on the right hand side of face something coming up out of it like a balloon, and then something yin and yang symbol on the head of what's possibly a lizardy creature. The lizardy creature is putting the eye inside this being on the right, which is a pearl. So it's like, here you go, lovely, you can have your eye back. I think that bit on the top looks a bit like a yin-yang symbol, although it's different colours. There's possibly a bird there with a giant beak. I can't think what that would be. That's the balloon, but it's not really a balloon. I think it's more likely womb symbolism. Here's a head right at the top. Then on the left-hand side, it's almost like there's a blue lizard on the back of this pink lizard. Maybe a reference to this idea of blue and pink, like male and female. Not that they have inherent associations with that, but they've become that in society. There are shapes and things inside that face on the right-hand side. They are a bit more blurred, but there's two figures sort of in that side cheek, maybe even a face like a crescent moon on the right-hand side. And that's just the bottom part of the lizard that look like the tail, which is also, you know, quite like a cave-like entrance, sort of like a vagina, I guess. Remember what the posh word for that is. That's talking about cycles and rebirth, I guess. And then just up to the left, I did do some squiggles, like a head and then like SST, which may relate to a sistrum, possibly. I'll leave you in peace now. My daughter will be awake shortly. It's her birthday. Thanks for listening.